And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus on this Wednesday, November 12th, 1:06 in the afternoon. Temperatures outside pushing 50 degrees. And another mild afternoon with plenty of sunshine and breezy conditions. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki along with our Ag Director Bridgette Readel. And Bridgette, did you happen to catch the Northern Lights last night? What a beautiful, beautiful display.
Addison has some pictures that I sent him in Slack that he can share with the live stream today. Because,
Nice.
yes, I did get a chance. One thing that I think a lot of people saw was so much of the red oxide, which we normally don't pick up quite as much of. But I saw pictures as far south as Wichita, north of Tulsa, a lot of areas, Iowa, et cetera, that saw the red for a change.
Yeah, it was just a great display. I saw some displays from northern New Mexico. I mean, my friend down in Kansas City sent me some unbelievably gorgeous red pictures of the Northern Lights. So it was a beautiful, beautiful display last night. One of the stronger displays we've had throughout the United States, and another giant solar flare has hit the Earth's atmosphere this afternoon. Obviously, it's light out, so we're not going to be able to see it right now, but that will resonate into more Northern Lights as we head into tonight with clear skies. So if you did not get to catch them last night, make sure you get out there and catch them tonight. Now we're looking at clear skies as we head into the overnight hours. It will be a chilly one with lows in the upper 20s, and winds will be lightly blowing out of the west. And those winds will turn to the south tomorrow. Not as windy, under sunny skies, mid-50s. We're in the low to mid-60s on Friday. The record is 66. We'll be close to it, but I think we're going to fall just short. And then a cold front hits over the weekend, maybe an isolated shower Friday night, and then that will lead to cooler temperatures in the 40s as we head into the upcoming weekend. And if you're watching our live stream, Addison has those beautiful, beautiful pictures of the Northern Lights, and boy, those were absolutely just phenomenal. There was a couple out of Minnesota that I saw, southern Minnesota. It looked like an angel. I don't know if you saw those pictures. It was from WCCO outside of or from Minneapolis, and one of their viewers sent in one. It looked like an angel flying with just multiple colors. It was just absolutely beautiful. So again, we'll be able to see them tonight. We'll have the clear skies. So if you didn't catch them last night, also I had one of our listeners emailed me and said, I don't understand how all these vivid pictures are coming in. He said, I went outside and he's like, I couldn't see them as clear with the naked eye. And I said, well, you can't. I said, when you put your camera on those, and the cameras have a longer wavelength than the naked eye, so they're going to pick it up a lot more vividly than the naked eye. The naked eye, it'll look like almost just, you could see the very faint colors, almost like a haze or maybe a little light cloud cover, it looks like, but you put the camera on that, something with a longer wavelength than the naked eye, and boy, those colors just pop immediately. So,
I mean, you knew that they were there, but you're right. If you want to really see the colors exposed, that's where you get your cameras out, and it's just going to do a much, much better job.
It is also worth noting, as someone who takes a lot of pictures with his phone, if you go outside at night, depending on what kind of phone you have, if it's a newer phone, it'll probably do this. A lot of phones come with an astrophotography mode, like, built into their cameras now.
Okay.
So if you point your phone at the sky at night and you hold really still, it will take a long exposure shot of the sky.
Nice.
There'll probably be some kind of pop-up that says astrophotography mode. That can last anywhere from 3 seconds of exposure to like 5 minutes of exposure. Because
that's
how a lot of those really.
I know the iPhones have night mode and day mode, so you want to put it in night mode, obviously, if it doesn't automatically.
Yeah.
Now I don't know about Android, if that I don't know.
Google Pixels have them. I don't know if Samsungs have them. I'm sure the Galaxies probably do.
Right.
I haven't had a Galaxy in a long time.
Okay.
We just went from weather and ag to weather and photography.
Yeah, right.
Look at us make a list, you guys. This is excellent. Call us for all your photography tricks.
Well-rounded group here. Yeah.
Just let people know if they're going to be back out tonight and you want to take some really good pictures. Double check, see what your phone can do.
Yeah.
Addison's right.
Yep. And take advantage of it tonight. If you didn't get a chance, we were at a concert all night last night, and on the way back from the concert, I literally pulled over on the interstate and we just started snapping pictures. So it was a long display last night. It started around 6 o'clock, and I mean we were seeing them up until 11, and even had some reports that early this morning. People were up at 4 or 5 o'clock going into work, and they were still seeing some. So I don't think they'll be as long-lasting tonight. But, again, it looks like anytime after 6, 7 o'clock tonight, we should start to see a good display over our area. So, again, if you didn't get a chance last night, be sure to head out tonight. Should be another good display.
Well, I've had some folks ask if that, along with the solar flares, et cetera, will be a bit of a problem for some of our GPS in our farm equipment, et cetera. And there's a real distinct possibility. I didn't get to finish reading the entire message, but there was some folks that operate like ham radios, all-weather radios. They said they did run into some problems trying to communicate last night too. So weather can do unusual things when it comes to those communication systems.
Yeah, and it did. I missed exactly what you said. Addison was talking to me, Bridgette, but
I'm a yapper.
I know. Yeah, I know you are. I know you said something about it could interfere with communications, and it already has today over in Europe. They had some communication problems over there, so that may happen again tonight. If your phone is funky or some satellite communications, like you said, could be disrupted with that tonight. We've got Tom on line one. Tom's got a question. What's going on, Tom?
Hey, a question for you, Dean. So I remember when there was powerful solar flares when I used to live in northern Minnesota, you could hear them. You could hear the northern lights. So has anyone reported anything that they've heard them? Not only vivid colors, but hearing them is really interesting.
I've heard that too. I haven't heard anything this go around. Bridgette, have you? From any of anybody that's been out?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. But with some pictures that came from much further north, on the Manitoba border, maybe those guys were picking some of that up last night.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you could be outside and actually hear it. It's kind of a weird feel. It's a kind of a weird thing.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Well, Tom, thanks for calling him. Hopefully you catch those again tonight.
Okay.
All righty. Yeah, I've never heard them. And last night was the first night I've actually seen them. I've seen pictures, but last night it was on my bucket list. That's another thing I can check off my bucket list now. So good deal. Good deal. And like I said, if it's on, I know a lot of people, it's on their bucket list, especially areas south of here, central southern plains, and they had a chance to see that last night. And tonight's display, I was just checking spaceweather.com where they update that on how strong tonight's is supposed to be, and not quite as strong as last night's, but again, definitely visible here in the northern plains, and Mother Nature going to cooperate in terms of cloud cover. So all in all, not a bad-looking forecast, Bridgette. And I do see signs, though, next week. If you have any outdoor chores to do before the winter weather really hits, you might want to button those up this week, because starting next week, and we were hinting at, that the LRC was thinking that after mid-month, we're going to start turning a little more stormy and or at least back to normal temperatures. And we're getting strong indications now from our other computer models that after this weekend, we will start to turn the corner into a more seasonal to below normal temperature pattern through the end of the month. So it was only a matter.
Okay.
It was only a matter of time.
Temperature, sure. As
Yeah.
long as you're not dumping 3 feet of snow like next week, I'm fine with it. I mean, good Lord, I don't even have my survival kit in this pickup yet. I got some work to do.
Again, this is the week to get it done.
Okay, I'll be on it. All right. And so if you have had an opportunity, you can be following our live stream where Addison has been posting pictures we have of last night's Northern Lights show. If you have more that you'd like to share, you can email them to us, weather or ag at flagfamily.com. That is our Superior Grain Bin inbox, and we appreciate them powering our inbox. Superior Grain Storage, Drying, and Handling Systems can be found more at superiourbins.com. You can also be calling like Tom did and using the JLA Insurance phone line, 701-293-9000. We appreciate phone calls like that, as well as comments we get on our live stream, where folks are watching what we're doing on Facebook, YouTube, and Acres TV. Today, we are going to have an opportunity to visit with a farmer who reached out to me after our conversation last week with Angie Johnson. Angie is the Farm and Ranch Safety Specialist at NDSU. And we were talking about grain bins and avoiding grain bin entrapment and doing a great job of leveling our grain as we're filling bins at this time of the year. And David Totenhagen from Sturham, North Dakota, sent me a message. He uses the grain weevil. Dean and I have talked about it before, and we're excited to hear about somebody who's actually got it in action. If you're not on the live stream, you'll want to get there. He even sent us some video footage of it operating in his bin. So we're going to catch up with the American Ag Network. We're going to have a phone conversation with David. Today is Wednesday weather trivia that's coming up, and there's so much more to come. Don't forget, Friday we'll be doing Market Uncovered. That'll be with Greg Hansen, Hansen Agri Commodities. That happens Fridays at 1:20 p.m. We'll be back. I guess I'm the mobile Coral Laundromat Studio. I'm on the road today. Get an opportunity to put out my headrest cover. So if you're watching on the live stream, you can see me everywhere. My name's right there, WDAY. And I'm going to have to make sure I get back in time because Chris Sherman is stopping by my office. Not only have I done the fence check assessment with him at Tech Support Farm, but we're going to have a conversation about my cybersecurity, tightening up my email address and doing a much better job to protect myself from hackers as what I consider even a small agribusiness. Well, we are joined today by our guest. Oh, and before I get to my guest, I wanted to point out I had a listener send me a message that when visiting Alaska, he has also heard the northern lights. Says it sounds like a swishing static kind of a
Wow,
noise.
that would be kind of different, wouldn't it? Man.
Well, I'm looking. Somebody record that and send it to me.
Right,
Can't wait to hear it.
yeah.
So the other thing I can't wait to hear is our guest today, and that's David Totenhagen. He is from Sturham, North Dakota. And David, you heard us talking about the grain weevil last week, and it sounds like you've been using it on your farm.
Yes, I have. I bought it in first part of September, and we just put it to use a couple weeks ago for the first time.
So, was there a specific reason why you thought about this, or was it something you just wanted to give it a try? What got you prompted on bringing the grain weevil to your operation?
Well, what enthused me about it is we've been I started natural air drying grain I believe it was 1989. We put up a couple bins of full floor aeration, and through the years, we've learned some tricks that help it perform a lot better. And one of them is to get the grain level, so you get even airflow through it. We found if you leave a peak in the bin, some years are worse than others, that air is going to go through the least resistance. So that the shallower the grain, the air is going to travel through there the best. And if you have a peak in the middle, you're just not going to get the airflow. And the wetter the grain is, you have a chance of not getting it dry at all or forming some warm spots. So
Sure.
It's a lot of work to level bin. We've been doing it for years, and the bins have gotten bigger. We're dealing with 48 diameter bins now, and we just and more of them, and just want something to make life easier because it's a lot of work.
And David, what's your take on it so far, using it?
Well, going by, all I've ever seen is videos of it. I never had seen it in person. And I spoke to the person that I bought it from, and asked them a bunch of questions, how it performed from them, because it was on a test basis all last year through the dealers. And I had extensive talks with him and what he thought it could do. And so I made the plunge and bought it. It was not a cheap investment. And the first time I used it, I told my son, I said, well, I hope this isn't the most expensive disappointment I've ever had. But it actually so far exceeded my expectations of what it could do.
So, okay, was your corn fairly dry going in, or what was your moisture? And do you think having a higher moisture corn would have made a difference in how well the grain weevil leveled inside your bin?
Most of our corn was around 19% this year, moisture. And I can see the drier the grain, the easier it's going to push it. It just, dry corn flows. Wet corn, it gets sticky, but it really it moved a lot of grain, more than I thought it was. The guy I bought it from, he says, it can do about, how does it compare to shoveling? He says, it'll do about what a man can do. Well, I would argue that. I think it's at least 3. And and all you got to stop, charge a battery. It's got about anywhere from an hour to hour and a half run time, and it takes about 15 minutes to charge.
Oh, okay.
But, yep.
So you got to be thinking about it, right? Like, okay, wait, I got to go, because you have to physically have a trolley system to lift it up out of the bin, charge it, and then put it back in, right? So you have to be reminded of that. Oh, no?
Yeah, we have the charger in the bin, so we can charge it right there.
Oh, so it's like a Roomba. It just goes back and charges.
Yeah, well, you have to plug it in and turn the knob on, but the charger is about the size of a large automotive battery, I would, say. So you have to have 110 current to run the charger. So you run a cord up and charge it. And typically, like a 48 diameter bin, 2 charges and you'll have it done.
Wow.
It took me, my son can do it too. He's a lot better at it than me. I think it took me 2.5 charges to complete a bin.
Okay. And when you say 48,
And
I want to make sure people understand that's a 48-foot diameter bin.
right, yep. So it's from the center out, it's 24. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's 48 diameter bin. We're working with most of them. And as far as your operation, it's got a headlight on it that blinded us. We had to tip it down because if you saw it, it just blinded you. So we tipped it down, and then it has LED lights all around it. And when you're operating, it's green, and when it turns orange, you know your battery's starting to go down, and you probably can run in about another 10 minutes after that before it gets really slow, and you better charge it.
Okay. So having used it, again, you got it in September, so you've had it a couple months. Could you see having more of them, or it works to have one because you're filling a bin one at a time, leveling them out, that type of thing?
For us, you know, when I bought it, like I say, it was not cheap. And then they had the introductory, if you bought another one, it was half price. And I said, oh, we got to wait here, to see. But no, one is enough for operation. And, one thing I thought about is if it really catches on, there's no reason why 3 or 4 farmers that got along good couldn't own it collectively together and bring that price down. It's not something you're going to use every day. And I think, like I say, if everyone got along good with it, I think there's no reason you couldn't share it.
Or if you're fairly enterprising, you could have a rental system where you're renting them out to people to be using during harvest.
Yeah, you could. No, the guy I bought it from, he was in Iowa. He was the closest guy I found. And just so happened he lived 65 miles from where my daughter lives, so I was down there anyhow. But he was doing custom work with it, and leveling and breaking up crusted bins. He showed me a video of a bin he did that was crusted grain, and it was ugly, but it chopped it up really good. It looked like it was doing a good job.
Huh. And David, we got a listener just emailed in a question about, and maybe you can't answer this, but with the grain weevil, how does it, okay, so it takes care of that top layer. What about, those bins are, very tall. How does it get into, does it just take care of that top crust layer, or can it can't get down underneath that top layer, correct?
No, it doesn't. It's got 2 augers on it, and you operate it. That's what propels it in the grain, is these augers, and it's got wings on it, I would call it. They're flat pieces of plastic that go out that don't let it, if you just sit there, it's not going to let it just sink into the corn. It
Right.
keeps it above the grain. So, yeah, and it probably, the augers are probably only in the grain 4 inches, I'm guessing, something like that,
Okay.
and so, yeah, it just addresses the top of the grain. It would never dig itself into the grain.
Okay.
You couldn't do it.
Yeah, we're watching video of it now. It's just, that looks just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and what you have, what you have is there's a hinged door. Well, not door. It's a flapper on it. So you propel it up the grain pile, and when you go back down, the flipper goes down, so it's completely at a right angle of the weevil, and that's what pushes the grain. And it's not that big a flap. It moves a lot of grain, and it works best if you just go, say 5 feet up and then go back, 5 feet up, back, rather than pushing the whole entire way, as you go. But,
that makes sense. David, I can't tell you how thankful I am that you reached out and said, hey, I've got one of those. And thank you for agreeing to come and talk to us about it. I really appreciate that.
Sure.
Too.
You bet.
So, last question though, would you recommend it to some other farmers?
I would. I would say the biggest struggle with it right now is getting it in the bin. It weighs, I believe, 47 pounds, so it's pretty heavy. The widest point is 2 feet on it. So what you know, I think they're a little unrealistic. They want you to have a permanent installation on a bin, and with the winch, it's supplied with a worm gear winch that you put a electric wrench on it, and the winch works fabulous. But what we did is we mounted it to a forklift mast that will go 16 feet high, and then that's how we hoist up. Our bins are short enough we can get up there, but you know, we don't have a stair type entry into a bin like a lot of guys do, and I think that would work really well. I think you could actually carry it up the stairs and lower it down that way by hand, but I would say that's the biggest obstacle is getting it in the bin, you know, for us.
Okay.
But we made it work. We had to kind of think of our own ingenuity to do it, but we did do it. And
Oh man, that thing is awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, David. Keep going. I'm just watching the videos, admiring it.
Well, the wireless remote that you use, I would say you operate just like a skid steer loader. You have 2 toggles. You push them both ahead or back, and it just runs both or one auger to turn it, and pretty simple to operate. You can set the speed, how fast do you want the augers to run. We have found 70% is about the best. If you run them too fast, it just kind of tends to chop away in the corn and not move.
Oh, okay. All right. David, thank you. We need to touch on our bottom of the hour news, but I really appreciate you sharing all of this.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got to do Wednesday weather trivia coming up sometime before 2 o'clock. So stay tuned so you can call us on the JLA Insurance phone line, 701-293-9000. Don't call yet. Dean hasn't even given you the question. We'll do that sometime, like I said, before 2 o'clock. We greatly appreciate the help we had from a number of sponsors when it came to doing our Here We Grow Project 2025 because we were able to raise wheat. We were sending it back as seed wheat to Peterson Farm Seed, and yet we were also able to give a $1,000 donation to Farm Rescue last week, one of our very favorite charities here for Weather and Ag in Focus. Some of the team that helped us behind the scenes, well, that was Gowan USA. With this weather, it's still nice enough to be doing some fall burn down. Don't forget to add Vita because if you're concerned about kochia, mare's tail, and water hemp, thank you, that took a moment, then you want to make sure that you have Vita in the tank with it. And then also, thank you, Peterson Farm Seed, for the quality seed and the work that you did. In fact, we're going to be welcoming Peterson Farm Seed into the studio in December to have a little catch up with them on what things are doing in their seed business as we get ready for 2026 already. Well, new technology on the farm. There's some things to think about before you do it. So we just talked about the grain weevil. And frankly, the grain weevil is probably more a price or an economically price conscious decision than if you were looking at, say, autonomy or new bins. But yet it's still an item that you want to know your bottom line. Check out your dollars and cents. Some new technologies may not work without quality internet service, depending on where you are. And Dean, we were just talking about this earlier. The solar flares that we've had truly affect some of the behavior of our farm equipment. So as you are approaching the fall, you're thinking about needs for 2026. Should I be buying something that's software related, equipment related? Put those factors into your process of deciding what you're going to do. Dollars and cents. Do I have quality internet? Do I have infrastructure for it if I need it? And really, what is the need or the problem? So it depends. Do you want to solve a problem or a need on your farm and see where that takes you when it comes to buying new technology today?
And Bridgette, have you heard anything from anybody out there about with the Northern Lights last night and how strong they were? Did it affect any equipment out? Anybody that's out doing harvest? Did it affect any of their equipment?
Folks haven't talked about it hardly at all today.
Okay.
The thing that it would probably most impact is if you are autonomously calling the grain cart back over instead of if you have somebody in the cart
Right,
and you're
exactly, yeah.
doing it by radio. That may affect some of your way outs. Probably not. Like if you've got a scaled grain cart, it probably shouldn't affect it too terribly much. Hasn't been bad. I will have to see if I can go back through some of my messages to see one that was sent by folks that were ham radio operators. They said they ran into some problems, but overall, no one has mentioned that for farm equipment today. Now,
Okay.
if you're ditching, tiling, etc., is it messing with you? Well, drop me a message. ag@flagfamily.com. Let me know.
All right. Well, it's time for our weather trivia, and we're going to have two weather. I'm feeling generous today. I'm feeling like giving away stuff. So the first question we're going to give away our beautiful Darter Plastic heavy duty rain gauge, and then if we have time in our next segment, I'm going to give away one of our WDAY hats for a different trivia question. So today's weather trivia question for our rain gauge is: what is the snowiest month that Fargo, and this is easily Googleable, but is that a word? Google? Austin, sorry, Addison, jeez. You can tell I'm running on 2 hours of sleep from last night. Sorry, buddy.
I'm offended.
Is that a word? Googleable? Googleable. Don't use the Google
Probably
machine.
is now.
That's a
Right. What is
Googleable
our
word, I'll say,
snowiest month on record here? And I'm not talking. Oh, it's January. What month have we had the most snow, and what was the amount? 701-293-9000. What is our snowiest month? What was the grand total that we had that month? I'm sure we can all guess the year.
Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say I could probably figure out the year, but now you're looking for the month in that particular winter season.
Correct. Yes.
That was the snowiest.
Yes.
Okay.
What month? So we got a caller here on line one. Caller, what's your name?
Quincy.
Quincy, what is your guess?
December of 2008.
No, that's not right. Okay, now I got to look up and see what we had in 2008. Quincy, you're more than welcome to call back and try again. 2008 in December. That is not the right answer. Okay, now I'm going to have to figure out
Or
what.
it's not the one you were looking for anyway.
Yeah, that's not the snowiest month that we've had on record here in Fargo. So again, what is the snowiest month we've had on record? How much snow did we get in that month. And what year was it, obviously, as well? 701-293-9000. So
That is the JLA Insurance phone
mhm.
line. So if you want to call there, I'm watching my email, and that is ag@flagfamily.com. And I am powered by the Superior Grain Equipment inbox. We want you to make phone calls. You can send questions by email, but we want you to make a call for weather trivia at this point, just to clarify,
Right.
because
Right.
sometimes both things happen.
Yes. Well, why don't we? You want to hit on a couple of ag topics while we're waiting here, Bridgette, for any more
I
guesses?
I can indeed, as we are talking about some of the things that are going on out in the world of technology and agriculture. So, right now, Colorado potato beetles, which are very apt to develop resistance to multiple modes of action, and they can usually do it within 1 or 2 growing years. I mean, they have so many generations and they are so quick to adaptation. Well, they can devastate not only potatoes, but tomatoes, eggplants, and other crops as well. Now, there is a new bioinsecticide that's highly effective when applied a few times once the larvae first appear in the spring. It is the first sprayable insecticide made of RNA that can kill, and it is targeting those very ravenous Colorado potato beetles. So, something to keep in mind that there could be a new item on the horizon. Now, when it comes to fighting them in the garden, this is being designed for commercial farming situations. I don't think you would see something like this being available to any of our gardeners anytime soon. We're going to want to use this technology in the field. But also, this technology can be tailored for other pests, such as the varroa mites that spread disease to honeybees. That's currently in the pipeline for approval. And then researchers are using this as a tool to combat the Asian citrus psyllids, as well as bark beetles, and maybe even mosquitoes. So we're going
Oh,
to watch for what that can do. So there
all
we
right.
go.
All right. And we've got a couple of callers here with the guesses here. Caller, line 1, what's your name?
My name is Todd.
Todd, what is your guess? What's the snowiest month? How much snow did we get in what year?
I'm going to say January 1997.
Oh, you are close. You are close, but not quite there. All right, caller on line 2, what's your name?
Renee?
Hey, Renee, what is your guess for to win our Darter Plastic Rain Gauge?
I'm going to say 1997 in February.
Oh, God, you guys are close. I mean, they've got the right winter, that's for sure. Nice try. They've got the right winter, but yeah, all right. So, all right, caller, line 1, what's your name?
Todd again.
Todd, what's your guess, bud?
February 97.
Oh no, boy, Bridgette, they're all over it. Okay, we're gonna take
So close.
Yep, we're gonna take a break here. We're gonna take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll continue with our weather trivia again. To win one of our Darter Plastic Rain Gauges, what is the snowiest month? What year was it, and how much snow did we receive? 701-293-9000. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we have a winner. Todd was our winner, and the correct answer was they had the season right, the 96-97 season. It was December of 96. We had 33 and a half inches of snow. Yikes. I mean, we didn't even get that in the whole season last year.
That's a real winter wonderland.
That would be, yeah. That couldn't have been fun around
Okay,
around the Christmas
for
time.
those of you who were not here, it was a lot of work. It was
Oh.
not easy. I mean, the amount of snow shoveling and snow removal that had to go on was insane, and we still had snow piles actively sitting around after the 1st of May. Big piles waiting
Wow.
for them to melt that
Oh.
season. It was nuts.
No, thank you. Man,
It happened.
unbelievable. Wow. So, yeah, that was, I believe we had 117, if I'm not mistaken, 117 inches that winter. Just amazing. Just amazing.
Mhm.
So we're going to do a WDAY hat now for another trivia question here. So
Okay.
I don't know if you saw, well, the Northern Lights last night were amazing. There were some shooting stars that were mixed in with it as well.
Mhm.
So the question is, how many stars are in our solar system for a WDAY hat? How
One,
many?
and it's me.
Yeah, you are the bright shining star.
Shining star.
Yes, he
Shining.
is.
I can't wait to tell Mom you said that.
I
on air.
can't wait to tell Mom.
Do you want me to call your mom? Because she and I have some things to discuss.
We'll do a conference call.
How many stars? Yeah, how many stars are in our solar system? Again, for a chance to win one of our WDAY caps. 701-293-9000. How many stars are in our solar system? Bridgette, any clue?
Kabillions? I mean, can you count that high?
Yeah. All right, caller, line one.
Is this a trick question?
What's your name?
Ken, is it just one, our sun?
That is correct. Yes, just one. In our solar system, I didn't say galaxy, I said our solar system. So very good, Ken. We're going to put you on hold here. And Addison, who thinks he's the number one shining star in our solar system, he'll get your info for you.
No one has any credible proof that says I'm not, so.
Well, yeah, right? That's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, man.
Nice work,
Yeah.
Addison. I appreciate that tremendously.
I
Goodness.
tried.
Thank you. Okay, while you're talking to Ken, a couple other things to keep in mind. Following a sustained advocacy push from Minnesota farm groups, the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency has announced that it's withdrawing the rulemaking process for pesticide-treated seed disposal. This withdrawal follows a May report from the administrative law judge, which disapproved of what Minnesota Pollution Control rulemaking was saying because of procedural errors that were made by Minnesota Pollution Control in their rulemaking process. So if Minnesota Pollution Control does proceed with the rulemaking, agency has to start over from the beginning. So this was definitely a push by farm advocacy groups to say, hey, this is flawed. You obviously don't know what we do, how we do it, and why. And so they took it upon themselves to, in fact, go and educate Minnesota Pollution Control and make sure that they understood the truth of the matter, and so better decisions can be made. So there are times when pushback like this really has to happen, simply so we can make sure that the right rules and legislation are applied at the right timing versus letting things just kind of run amok, you might say. Ag economists have been talking very heavily, is it the 1980s all over again as far as our farm economy? Experts are saying no, but we're close. High input costs, the inability of domestic soybean crush growth to offset loss with China's demand, which that is changing. We are seeing China step up to place more orders now. That weighed heavily on profitability. Now, what are some of the other statistics that our farm economists are seeing? And this is a survey that's done on a monthly basis that is done across farm economists all across the U.S., not just focusing in this particular region or the traditional Midwest. So what are we seeing? 59% of ag economists say that the ag economy is worse off as we come into November than we were coming into October. 69% say the current economic situation is slightly similar to what we saw in the 1980s, with incredibly high interest rates. We haven't had the 18 to 21% interest rates that we saw in the 80s. We still do see land holding its values. We have not seen it tip back in that, especially after our discussion yesterday with Max Steffes of Steffes Group. He joined us for On the Auction Block, and we talked about where land values hold today. Now, 47% of farm economists expect the cattle bull market to continue for another 19 to 24 months. I don't just mean the bulls that inseminate the cows. I mean, we're talking a bullish market right now. We believe cattle will continue to trend upward and look incredibly positive going forward. In the discussion I've had recently with listeners, groups, etc., they've been asking some of those types of questions too. How long will it take until we can start to rebuild the U.S. cattle herd? We are seeing strong beef numbers projected through the year 2026 at this point, maybe into 2027. That will certainly be a good market discussion when Greg Hansen from Hansen Agri Commodities joins us on Friday in the 120 segment, because he's going to talk about where we are sitting right now as far as cattle projections, etc. Also, what will be important is this Friday on the November 14th, now with the government reopening. Even prior to that reopening, it was projected that USDA would bring out the WDAY report, which we have not had as a report in the 41-day shutdown. So I'll be curious to see how that report has been formulated and its accuracy with USDA employees that were not working during the shutdown. Where'd they get the information from? Well, nobody knows yet, but we're going to talk about it on Friday, that's for sure. Also, we say right now economists are saying that Brazil is truly the winner when it comes to this trade war, as they have been making deals on soybeans globally.
Good
But it's
deal.
getting better for us.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Good. We've got Al
Yes.
on line one. Al, you got about a minute here. What's your question?
Well, a comment, a question. So Sunday and Monday, the weather in Illinois, from Kenosha to Gary, east and west, was terrible, and it went all the way down to Bolingbrook. So yeah, it was not good. But my question, growing up, 1960s, I remember snow all the way up to our roof. Wouldn't that have been the snowiest winter we had?
Are you talking for Fargo?
Yeah, Fargo, West Fargo, yeah.
In terms of during a month, no. The snowiest month that we've had was that month. Now, it might have appeared to be the snowiest with snow up to the roofs because of wind, drifting, and all that. But accumulating snow, the snowiest month we had was December of '96 with 33.5 inches. So
yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure it was the month there, but I mean
Right.
for the whole winter. The whole winter, what's
the whole
most
winter
we've gotten in the whole winter?
96, 97, 117.
Still beat that, yep.
Yeah, yep. That was a
Yeah.
horrible winter. Let's hope we don't repeat that. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
thanks, Al. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah.
So for Bridgette, myself, want to thank you for joining us today on Weather and Ag in Focus. Don't go anywhere. The Jay Thomas Show, that's coming up next.